is good stuff, man. Oh, hi, you guys. I was just reading this new book. It just came out yesterday. It's really funny. Available at your local bookstore or online bookseller, that is, of course. Oh well, maybe I'll read this some other time. Hey, you guys, how's everybody doing today? Hi, Sophia. Who's representing us today, huh? Philip. Okay. And Philip is also here as well as Philip. And also Allison and Colin from Virginia, representing Virginia. Okay. And Devlin's here. Okay. I think we've established that Philip is here. Nora and Eloise representing New Jersey. Connecticut is represented by Callan. And let's see who else is here. Lots of people are here. 125 of you, actually. Jonah and Brianna from Long Island, New York is represented. Althavan is here. Skyla, of course, is here. And Alexandra and Ethan from Pennsylvania, representing Pennsylvania. Chloe. Hey, Chloe. How you doing? Okay. Once you type your name, you don't need to type it again because I already know you're here. Matthew and Ryan. Jonah, Brianna. Caitlin is here. Okay. Jesse's here. Hi. We'll get started in about 3.5 minutes. 2 o'clock. Hi, Leo. East Coast time. Inesh and Rashid. Hi. James from Texas is represented by James. Michigan is represented by Alex. And Philip and Joseph are also here from Texas. And Illinois is represented by Shane and Maddie. And Molly's here. Dylan. Hi, Dylan. And Dagash is here from New Jersey. Illinois is also represented by Paul. Okay. Michigan, Ethan. All right. Okay. Illinois also, Molly. All right. Tyler. Hi, Tyler. Paige is here. Ara and Malachi from Canada represented. Elizabeth's here. Okay. We'll get started in less than 2 minutes. Is that right? Less than 2 minutes, yeah. Carter and Mitchell are here from Illinois. The Markwood crew representing Florida. Okay. Violet and Stefan. My brother is here. Great. Henry is here. I don't have a brother. It's somebody else's brother. Stella and Max representing South Carolina. Madison's here. Okay. And I'll take a sip of my water. North Carolina. Keone and Kai. We got about a minute to go before we get started. Patrick. Hi, Patrick. Or I should say, Katrina. AJ and Morgan. Evan. Okay, good. Billy Sickles. Now we can get started now that Billy's here. Okay. Okay. All right. Spencer's here. Stella and Max. We got 178 people, 177. Somebody left? How dare they? You still have a minute. You have a half a minute to get your friends and relatives in here before we get started. Tennessee, Connor is here. Okay. We got 15 seconds to go. All right. Hey, Jake Tags. 7 seconds. 6, 5, 2, 1. It's go time, baby. Hi, Dan Gutman here. Welcome to number 67 in My Weird Read Aloud. Yes, this is the 67th one. And our question of the day comes from Evan in Connecticut. And Evan asked, were the kids in 2nd grade in Miss Daisy's class? And the answer is yes. Miss Daisy was the first book in the My Weird School series. The kids were in 2nd grade. and they were in second grade for all 21 books of My Weird School. And then when the second series started, My Weird School Days, that's when the kids advanced into third grade, where they are now and will be, presumably, for the rest of their lives. Okay, so that's the question. Thank you, Evan. And let's get started with our book of the week, which is Miss Brown is Upside Down. If you've been following along, you know that the Brain Games is a big mental competition between elementary school and Dirk School. Okay. And Miss Brown is like a creativity expert who is coaching the elementary kids for the Brain Games. And so far they have built a car, which is called the Death Machine. They have built a bridge out of toothpicks, which is called the Bridge of Love. And whichever school wins the Brain Games will win a trip to the Pizza World Water Park, which is a big prize. And AJ and Andrea are the co-captains of the elementary school team. So we're going to read 3 chapters today instead of the usual 2 because one of the chapters is short. And let's get started right away with chapter 5, which is titled Welcome to the Brain Games. You guys ready? Gather around, your big screen TV, your laptop, your tablet, whatever it is, let's go. All right. Finally, after a week, we were ready for the Brain Games. We fixed the Death Machine, complete with rocket launcher, so it was easier to steer. We rebuilt the Bridge of Love, so Emily could stand on it without crushing it. The only thing we had to worry about was the general knowledge part of the Brain Games. "Don't worry," said Andrea. "I memorized the dictionary and the encyclopedia." The Brain Games were held on Friday night. We had to hold them at Dirk School because their auditorium has a bigger stage. We loaded up our props and rode a bus over to Dirk. When we pulled up to the front of the school, guess who was standing there? It was Morgan Brocklebank. She's this third grade girl who's the star of the Dirk School TV station. She does their morning announcements every day. "Well, well, well," Morgan Brocklebank said when she saw us get off the bus. "If it isn't the kids from elementary school. Are you ready to lose?" "Your face is going to lose," I said, pointing my finger at her. And here's Jim's picture of AJ pointing his finger at Morgan Brocklebank of Dirk School. "Your face is going to lose." "Oh, yeah?" Morgan Brocklebank replied. "I don't think so. We're going to Pizza World." "You're going to Loserland," Ryan told her. Miss Brown got between us and Morgan Brocklebank. "Enough of that," she warned. I had never been to Dirk School before. It was big. We had to walk 1,100,000 miles to the auditorium. When we got there, all the seats were filled. Besides the Dirk students, it looked like their parents, grandparents, nephews, nieces, aunts, and uncles were there. Our parents were in the audience too, but there were only a few of them. "It looks like Dirk School has home field advantage," Alexia said. "Don't worry about it," Miss Brown assured us. "You're going to do just fine." When our team and the Dirk team got up on stage, everybody clapped their hands. Well, what else would they clap? Clapping your feet would be weird. Then some guy climbed up on stage. I recognized him right away. It was Dr. Carbles, the president of the Board of Education. I used to think Mr. Klutz was important, like he was the king of the school. But if Mr. Klutz is the king of the school, then Dr. Carbles is the king of the world. He probably sits on a throne and has servants fan him with feathers. I saw that in a movie once. "Welcome to the Brain Games," Dr. Carbles said into the microphone. "This competition is sponsored by the Jiggly Gelatin Company. It jiggles, so you know it's good." Dr. Carbles introduced Mr. Klutz and Mr. Wilson, who is the principal of Dirk's school. They got up on stage and shook hands. I remembered that Dr. Carbles and Mr. Klutz went to high school together, so they've known each other for a long time. On the left, we have the third grade students from elementary school, said Dr. Carbles. Our parents clapped and cheered. And on the right, we have the third grade students from Dirk's school, said Dr. Carbles. And here's Jim's picture of Dr. Carbles introducing the two principals of each school. And you can see the kids are in the background, AJ and Andrea and the other kids. Okay. The whole audience yelled and screamed and shrieked and hooted and hollered. I looked across the stage at Morgan Brocklebank. She was giving me the evil eye. Round 1 of the brain games will be a test of general knowledge, said Dr. Carbles. But first, a few short words from our sponsor. All right, that's chapter 5. Chapter 6 is titled, It's So Jiggly. The lights were dimmed, and a giant video screen came down in the middle of the stage. Then this man and lady appeared on the screen. They were way too smiley. Do you like eating things? The man asked. Who doesn't, right? If we didn't eat things, we'd die. And do you like drinking liquids? The lady asked. Everybody does. In fact, if we didn't drink liquids, we would die. The only thing better than eating and drinking, said the man, is when you can eat and drink at the same time. That's why our whole family loves Jiggly gelatin, said the lady. It's a complete meal in a bowl. Jiggly has all the essential vitamins and nutrients you need for a healthy lifestyle, said the man. It contains no sugar, no fat, and no cholesterol. It helps you lose weight, sleep better, see better, look younger, and grow hair. And Jiggly even cures all major diseases. Not only that, but Jiggly comes in all the colors of the rainbow. And it tastes great, said the lady. But the best part is, it's fun to eat because it jiggles. Right, kids? The camera pulled back to show 3 kids sitting on the floor. Right, the kids shouted. It's so jiggly, it makes you giggly. Then they all started laughing way too hard. Who wants some Jiggly right now? Asked the parents. I do, shouted all the kids. Then the whole family dug into a big bowl of Jiggly as if none of them had eaten in weeks. The lights came back on. Man, that commercial was lame. All right, that's chapter 6. Chapter 7 is titled, You Snooze, You Lose. Okay. Round 1 of the brain games is about general knowledge, announced Dr. Carbles. Representing elementary school will be 2 members of their gifted and talented program, AJ and Andrea. My parents and Andrea's parents clapped their hands. And representing Dirk's school will be Morgan Brocklebank and Tommy Smith. The whole audience erupted in applause like they had just won the Super Bowl. That kid Tommy looked like a real doofus. Miss Brown attached little microphones to my shirt and Andrea's shirt and gave each of us a buzzer to hold. She told us to push the button if we were able to answer a question. You can do this, Miss Brown whispered to us. Be quick and be smart. Then she got off the stage. Is everybody ready? Asked Dr. Carbles. Ready, we all replied. Okay, question number 1, said Dr. Carbles. Who was the first president of the United States? Any dumbhead knows that. Bzzz! I pushed the button on my buzzer, but Morgan Brocklebank buzzed in first. George Washington, she shouted. Right, said Dr. Carbles. That's 10 points for Dirk's school. I knew that, Andrea whispered to me. Well, hit your buzzer, I whispered back at her. Question 2, said Dr. Carbles. In what year? Bzzz. 1776, shouted Morgan Brocklebank. That's right, said Dr. Carbles. 10 more points for Dirk. What? That's not fair, I complained. We didn't even get the chance to hear the question. You snooze, you lose, said Morgan Brocklebank. That kid Tommy next to her was just standing there with his finger up his nose. He was no help at all. Dirk's school now has 20 points, and elementary school has 0, said Dr. Carbles. Next question. Who invented bzzz? Ha ha, I buzzed in before Morgan Brocklebank did. Thomas Edison, I shouted. Oh, sorry, no, said Dr. Carbles. Thomas Edison is not correct. The question is, who invented the Franklin stove? Bzzz! Franklin, shouted Morgan Brocklebank. That's right. 10 more points for Dirk School. And here's Morgan Brocklebank buzzing in with the answers. That's 10 more points for Dirk School. It's now 30-0, said Dr. Carbles. Next question. Name a greenhouse gas that is flammable and comes from cow farts. What? What kind of a question was that? Bzzz. Methane, shouted Morgan Brocklebank. It's very bad for the environment. That's right, said Dr. Carbles. Methane? I never even heard of methane. How did she know that? The score is now 40-0, said Dr. Carbles. This was humiliating. Morgan Brocklebank kept answering all the questions right. Those Dirk dorks were crushing us. Their parents were yelling and screaming. Nose-picker Tommy was all excited about winning, as if he had anything to do with it. I thought you memorized the whole dictionary and encyclopedia, I whispered to Andrea. I did, she whispered back. I know all those answers. Morgan is just faster than I am. Andrea was useless. It looked like it was going to be up to me. I tightened my grip on the buzzer. There was no way I was going to let Morgan Brocklebank and her little nose-picking buddy beat us. Who wrote Little Women? Asked Dr. Carbles. Bzzz. A really short lady, I shouted. Incorrect, said Dr. Carbles. Why do we have tides? Bzzz. My mother runs out of laundry detergent and has to buy more, I shouted. Sorry, tides are caused by the moon, said Dr. Carbles. What animal? Bzzz. Penguins, I shouted. No, the correct answer is elephants. And here's AJ buzzing in with all the wrong answers. And Andrew's getting more and more upset. Arlo, you're getting them all wrong, Andrea whispered to me. Slow down. You need to wait until he finishes asking the question. If I wait until he finishes asking the question, Morgan Brocklebank will beat me to the buzzer, I told her. What state makes the most pencils? Asked Dr. Carbles. Bzzz. Pennsylvania, I shouted. Wrong. Who developed the Dewey Decimal System? Bzzz. Sorry. Mr. Decimal, I shouted. Oh, so close, said Dr. Carbles. It was Mr. Dewey. Nice try. And now it's time for our final question. What was Shakespeare's first name? Bzzz. William, Andrea shouted. That's right, said Dr. Carbles. That's 10 points for elementary school. It's about time, I told Andrea. Round 1 was over. I put down my buzzer. My hand was all sweaty. The score is 100 points for Dirk School and 10 points for elementary school, announced Dr. Carbles. Bummer in the summer. It was the worst moment of my life. Morgan Brocklebank sneered at me from across the stage and mouthed the words, "In your face." "We lost because of you," I told Andrea. "Why didn't you hit your buzzer?" "No, we lost because of you, Arlo," Andrea told me. "You need to think before you give an answer." "You probably don't even want to go to Pizza World." "I do too." We went back and forth like that for a while. Then Miss Brown climbed up on the stage. She put both her arms around us. And here's a picture of Miss Brown consoling AJ and Andrea for losing the first round of the brain games. "Calm down," she said. "Anybody can answer silly trivia questions. It takes creativity to win the brain games. We still have plenty of time to catch up." "It's time for us to move to round 2, said Dr. Carbles. And that's chapter 7. Tomorrow, we're going to start with chapter 8, which is titled, Carry That Weight. Ooh. But before we go, how about our joke of the day? You guys ready? All right, here's our joke of the day. It comes from Jace, who lives in Illinois, and this is Jace's joke. What did the buffalo say to his son when he left for college? What did the buffalo say to his son when he left for college? Bison. Get it? Buffalo? Bison? All right, you can blame that one on Jace. All right, let's thank Josh Salzman and Ryan Cunningham for our theme song. You know it, you love it. Let's do it, okay? And man, oh man, is that man nuts? All right, you guys, see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Read like crazy and wash your hands like crazy too, okay? Bye now. Oh, don't forget. Available now. See you guys.